Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to honor our outstanding students of Spanish. My name is Senor Gonzalez, and my colleagues would like to welcome you to our first annual Spanish Honor Society ceremony. Today we recognize outstanding students who have proven to show their love of the Spanish language and culture academically. We have challenged them to read, write, speak, and be able to understand the Spanish language in an authentic setting. We have challenged them to be able to think differently and approach different perspectives of the world. We have challenged them to look at their own culture, their own practices, and their own lives in comparisons to others. These students have proven that they meet the requirements to be admitted into the National Spanish Honor Society through the AATSP, the Association of Teachers of Spanish and Portuguese. My colleagues and I have selected these students based upon their academic achievement and merit. Not only do they have to show high marks in their Spanish classes, but also in their overall academics. Through their membership in our chapter of the National Spanish Honor Society, the Frida Kahlo chapter, and in Spanish Club, we hope to inspire and charge them with this duty, that they will continue to find the significance of their understanding of the Spanish language, history, and culture in their lives. They may continue to explore Spanish on their own, outside of the classroom setting. Some may continue to study Spanish in a college setting or abroad, but most of all, that they will share what they know with others and continue the exchange of cultural understanding and tolerance. What we learn changes us and can therefore unite and bring others together. As we dedicate this evening and this ceremony to our students, I would like to reflect a moment how they have grown in our courses. We look upon this dynamic group of students and recognize that they are athletes, they are artists, friends, students, and leaders. These students have shown immense tenacity and resilience. They have experienced school and learning in several different formats. They have had to study, work, and live under some of the most difficult circumstances, probably of their lives. They have had a lot of events that they would normally look forward to, canceled on them. Still, they had some wonderful times that were memorable and inspiring. As Frida Kahlo once said, at the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can. Some of my favorite moments are when their curiosity blossoms and they start to immerse themselves into what the world of language learning has to offer. Our students are brave, bold, and curious. A lot of these moments were made during our trips to Spain, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, where they got a chance to explore the language and culture outside of the classroom. We hope that as our world heals and gradually returns to normal, that we will once again be able to provide opportunities for our students to explore outside of the school setting. We are still looking forward to continue our travel program and going to places like Peru. We are looking forward to having Spanish Club field trips as well. It's through these opportunities that our program stays strong and relevant. It's through these students that we can continue to have for our future. We have hope and faith that they will build bridges where others build walls, that they will learn to unite rather than divide. I wish you success in your future, and to not forget that as the Canadian-Australian philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein once said, and is now our motto, the limits of our language are the limits of our world. Stay curious and successful. Thank you. And now for our student speaker, let's welcome Alyssa Vivo to the stage.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alyssa Vivo, and I'm a senior this year. 4 years ago, I took my first Spanish class, and to be honest, at first I kind of brushed it off as an easy A. While I never really struggled with it, somewhere along the way I realized that I genuinely really enjoyed learning Spanish, and I wanted to begin learning other languages as well. I was raised in a mixed family. My dad immigrated from the Philippines and eventually married my mom, who's Greek. As for my first language, English was always spoken at home. We never focused on multiple languages together, so aside from random words in Greek here and there and our favorite Tagalog word of the day, I never understood either language. It was kind of disappointing growing up hearing a language my family spoke and never being able to communicate back, let alone understand what they were saying. I felt disconnected from my culture in a way, constantly discouraged by the notion that it's easiest to learn languages when you're younger, and yet we never tried. Although no, Crown Point doesn't have a Greek program or Tagalog, Spanish is actually quite similar to Tagalog, and many words are the same or very similar. Even my last name is Spanish. You can actually draw a lot of parallels between the cultures in Latin America and the Philippines, and I've come to see Spanish as a way to embrace that while exploring something new and beautiful. Not to geek out or anything, but when we started learning more about Latin American clothing, food, art, music, architecture, I was ecstatic and I couldn't stop talking about it for quite some time. Not to mention, pretty much all of my writing exams were really more like mini conversations with Mrs. Castro, and with every activity we did, I grew increasingly more excited to learn something new and push myself further. Now, going into high school, I was definitely not the person to volunteer first for presentations or for speaking points. I was extremely quiet, and I was so scared of embarrassing myself, especially in front of native speakers if I pronounced something wrong in class. And I'm a huge perfectionist, so pronunciation has always been important to me, no matter the language. But I knew if I wanted to learn, I needed to practice. The more I participated, the easier it was for me to gain confidence and just talk. It started small, but over time it became more comfortable, and now I've realized that, well, yes, speaking points help me speak better Spanish and get an A, but it also helped me come out of my shell and interact with other people better. Not to mention, all of my teachers were extremely creative in helping and motivating us all in class, whether it was Pictionary, art projects, original songs, playing Mafia, or playing Look at Gold Rush. They knew how to connect with practically every student and motivate us to do better. All in all, my experience taking Spanish has been overwhelmingly positive, and I'm so glad I didn't chicken out of taking AP during scheduling last year. After taking 4 years of Spanish, I'm a confident speaker, and speaking Spanish has really become an enjoyable thing for me. I could talk for hours about the pieces of culture that I find fascinating, and seeing the progress I've made over the course of these last 4 years gives me hope that I can do the same again and educate myself and others about this culture and my own. Although world languages aren't really seen as a fundamental class to many people, I hope that more can come to understand the importance of exposing younger students to different cultures and languages, now more than ever, and I hope hearing my story can inspire you to see Spanish not as an easy A, but as an opportunity to challenge yourself, expose yourself to something different, and hopefully become more aware of the many cultures of our ever-changing world. Thank you.
We will now call each student up by name, and they will come to receive their certificate and medallion. Please hold your applause until we have called all our students.
We will begin with Spanish 3 Castro's inductees: Logan Angerman, Griffin Dussault, Alyssa Gargano, Elizabeth Pelicani, Rachel Rosenbaum, Rachel Roseman, Paige Shallow, Faith Serratos, Gabe Stout. Spanish 3 Gonzalez inductees: Keely Bernard, Reagan Carmichael, Alexander Choyensky, Fiona Connolly, Alia De Jesus, Tara Jukic, Sudoid Urbini, Nikki Gerodimos, Emily Gibson, Paige Haluska, Ryan Hannon, Hannah Kivney, Chloe Kiran, Alyssa Madrigal, Claire Patina, Cristal Rodriguez, Olivia Santiago, Kendall Shara, Daniel Sivinsik, Morgan Smith, Noah Thomas, George Trajanowski, Nee Tran, Sean Tolley. Spanish 3 Magallanes inductees: Jacob Clark, Mason Eaton, Elena Ilowski, Rocco Jan, Mackenzie Lilly, Christian Maunes, Avery Olenek, Maria Papadakis, Rachel Patterson, Jeremy Kwasny, Hayden Rosenbaum, Mankurth Singh, Dominic Subchak.
Spanish 3 Vargas inductees: Emma Adams, Kyle Alb, Brendan Balu, Abby Chitsey, Abigail Chin, Lucas Daniels, Gianna Kulianos, Mackenzie Parker, Madison Poor, Emma Riffle, Jasmine Slusser, Grace Soika, Isabella Teodori, and Justin Tung.
This next part's not written in the script. We have about 500 students coming in next for Spanish 1, and just to see that your children are a handful of those who go far and beyond what it is that is expected in Spanish, so that is really something to be proud of, just so you know about that. It is time for the candle lighting ceremony, in which students will light the candle of the classmate next to them while reciting our chapter motto in Spanish and in English. Okay, repeat after me. Las fronteras de mi idioma son las fronteras de mi mundo. Now we're going to say it in English. The limits of my language are the limits of my world. You are all now inducted into the Frida Kahlo chapter of the National Spanish Honor Society. Let's hear it one more time for our inductees. That's it.